Blood drips onto the marble floor as Alara scrubs, not from her worn hands, but from the fresh rose she crushed moments before the ballroom doors burst open, and the most powerful alpha in 5 kingdoms stops mid-stride, his golden eyes locked on her like she's prey, or salvation. The rose stem falls from Alara's fingers, thorns still embedded in her palm. She doesn't move. Can't move. Every instinct screams at her to run, to disappear into the shadows where she belongs, but King Driven Nightfang stands 20 feet away, and the weight of his stare pins her to the spot like a butterfly under glass. Impossible, someone whispers. The ballroom, moments ago a glittering sea of silks and jewels and 100 hopeful princesses, goes dead silent. Alara's knees are still pressed against cold marble, her scrub brush clutched in one red-stained hand. She'd been trying to clean the blood drops before anyone noticed, before the guests arrived and saw the imperfection. Now the king of the 5 kingdoms is looking at her like she's the only person in the room. His nostrils flare. He takes a step forward. Your Majesty. The Chancellor rushes to intercept him, robes fluttering. The princesses are assembled. If you would please. Driven doesn't even glance at the man. His eyes, wolf gold and burning, stay fixed on Alara as he moves through the crowd. Princesses scatter like startled birds. The air feels thick, electric, wrong in a way that makes Alara's pulse hammer against her throat. She should bow. Should press her forehead to the floor and pray he walks past. Instead, she stares. He's taller than she expected. Broader. The rumors painted him as handsome in a cruel way, with dark hair and sharp features and a mouth that never smiled. They didn't mention the way he moves, like violence barely leashed, like something wild wearing a crown. 10 years. That's how long he's rejected every mate the High Council presented. 10 years of saying no to perfect bloodlines and strategic alliances, until the royal family stopped asking and started demanding. Tonight was supposed to end the stalemate. 100 princesses from the finest packs, all gathered under one roof, all hoping to be chosen by the king who chose no one. Alara wasn't supposed to be seen at all. What is your name? His voice is low, rough. It shivers down her spine and settles somewhere dangerous. She can't answer. Her tongue has forgotten how to work. Answer your king. The Chancellor's voice cracks like a whip. Alara. It comes out barely audible. Alara Thorn, Your Majesty. Thorn. He tastes the name like wine. Another step closer. The crowd pulls back, creating a circle around them, king and maid, predator and prey. What pack? I'm not, her voice breaks. I don't have a pack, sire. I'm nobody. A princess laughs, sharp and cruel. The sound cuts off when Driven's head turns, just slightly, and a growl rolls through the ballroom. Not from his throat. From deeper, from the wolf that lives beneath his skin. The princess goes pale. When he looks back at Alara, something in his expression shifts. Softens at the edges, though the intensity doesn't fade. Stand up. It's not a request. Alara's legs shake as she rises, still clutching the bloody brush. She's shorter than every woman in the room, thinner, wearing a rough-spun servant's dress that's been mended a dozen times. Her hair, dark and wild, has escaped its braid. She must look like something dragged from the streets. Driven closes the distance between them in 2 strides. Up close, he's devastating. Not beautiful, too harsh for that, but magnetic in a way that makes her breath catch. He smells like winter forests and smoke and something else, something that makes her skin prickle with awareness even though she doesn't understand why. He reaches out slowly, like she might bolt, and tilts her chin up with one finger. Do you feel it? His thumb brushes her jaw, feather light. The bond? Alara's heart plummets. She should. She knows she should. Every wolf feels the mate bond, that golden thread that ties 2 souls together, that snap of recognition that changes everything. But when she reaches for her wolf, the way she's done every day since her first shift, she finds only silence. Nothing. Just the empty space where her wolf should be. The words stick in her throat. No, Your Majesty. I don't feel anything. A lie would be smarter. But Alara has never been good at lying, and something about those golden eyes makes deception impossible. The ballroom erupts. This is outrageous. Lord Varen, head of the High Council, shoves through the crowd. Your Majesty, this girl is clearly not your mate. She doesn't even have a pack. She's probably never shifted. She's mine. Dreven's voice cuts through the chaos like a blade. He doesn't look away from Alara. My wolf knows. That's enough. It's not enough. A princess in sapphire silk, Alara thinks she's from the northern peaks, steps forward, fury written across her perfect face. We have laws. Traditions. You can't claim some packless maid as queen. I can claim anyone I want. Now Dreven does turn, and the temperature in the room drops 10 degrees. I am your king. Or have you forgotten? The princess opens her mouth. Closes it. Bows her head, but her hands are fists in her skirts. Lord Varen tries again, voice tight with barely controlled rage. The bloodlines are mine to worry about. Dreven's hand settles on Alara's lower back, possessive and warm through the thin fabric of her dress. The High Council has been pushing me to choose for 10 years. I've chosen. A broken Omega who can't even feel the mate bond? The Chancellor's face is purple. This is madness. This is fate. Dreven's fingers press against Alara's spine, steadying her when she sways. And anyone who questions it questions the moon goddess herself. That shuts them up. Barely. Alara feels like she's drowning. The room spins, crystal chandeliers and furious faces and silk dresses worth more than she'll earn in a lifetime. This can't be happening. Kings don't claim maids. Alphas don't choose Omegas who can't shift, who can't even feel their own wolves anymore. It has to be a joke. Some cruel game she doesn't understand. Your Majesty. She forces the words out, though her whole body trembles. Please. I think there's been a mistake. No mistake. His hand slides up to cup the back of her neck, and the touch sends heat racing through her veins despite everything. You're mine, Alara Thorn. The bond will come. But even if it doesn't, his eyes bore into hers, intense and unyielding. You're still mine. I can't be queen. Panic edges her voice. I don't know how. I can't, I'm not. You will be. Simple. Final. Like he's declaring war or signing a treaty, not appending both their lives. A woman in scarlet, one of the High Council members, steps forward, her face a mask of cold fury. At least allow us to verify the bond. If this girl truly cannot feel it, she may be cursed. Another council member supplies helpfully. Defective? Alara flinches. Dreven's growl is real this time, rumbling from his chest and filling the ballroom with the scent of dominance, of alpha power so thick it makes even the strongest wolves drop their eyes. Anyone who insults my mate, he says softly, dangerously, will answer to me. Personally. The silence that follows is absolute. Lord Varen draws himself up, making one last attempt. Your Majesty, we beg you to reconsider. At least delay the claiming until. No. Dreven turns back to Alara, and something in his expression shifts again. Almost gentle, if a man like him can be gentle. We leave tonight. Pack your things. What? Alara's head spins. I don't have things. Just. Then we leave now. He offers his hand, palm up. An invitation, not a command. She stares at it. At the calluses that prove he's more than just a king in a palace, at the strength in those fingers, at the ring bearing his family crest, a wolf beneath a full moon. Behind him, 100 princesses watch with expressions ranging from shock to fury to something that might be pity. In front of her, the king of the 5 kingdoms waits. And inside her chest, where her wolf should be howling with joy or recognition or something, there's only that terrible, empty silence. This is insane. This is impossible. This is going to destroy her. Elara places her trembling hand in his. His fingers close around hers, warm and sure, and the decision is made. The ballroom erupts in chaos again, shouting, protests, the rustle of 100 silk gowns as princesses flee or rage or weep. The High Council converges, voices rising in argument. Someone starts crying. Someone else demands guards. Through it all, Driven stands unmoved, his hand wrapped around Alara's like an anchor in a storm. Welcome to your new life, he murmurs, low enough that only she can hear. I promise it won't be boring. Then he's pulling her through the crowd, past the Chancellor's protests and Lord Varen's threats and the princess's tears, toward the massive doors that lead out of the ballroom and into the unknown. Elara's last thought, before they cross the threshold, is that she should have cleaned up the blood from the rose. Now there's just a crimson stain on perfect white marble, proof that she was here. Proof that everything changed. Wanting to see what would happen next, subscribe to this channel to get to listen to more of our upcoming exciting stories. Click on the subscribe button now. Thank you. Chapter 2. The king's carriage smells like leather and something wild, pine and night air and that indefinable scent that clings to Driven like a second skin. Elara presses herself against the velvet seat, as far from him as the confined space allows, and watches the crystal moon palace shrink through the window. She's made a terrible mistake. You're trembling. Driven's voice cuts through the silence. He sits across from her, perfectly still, those golden eyes tracking her every movement. Are you cold? No. Yes. She's shaking so hard her teeth want to chatter, but it has nothing to do with temperature. Where are we going? Nightfang Keep. My home. He pauses. Our home now. Our home. The words feel impossible. This morning she woke up in the servants' quarters, sharing a lumpy mattress with 2 other maids. Tonight she's supposed to sleep in a castle. In the king's castle. As his mate. Elara closes her eyes, searching again for her wolf, praying this time will be different. But there's only that awful silence, that void where something vital should be. It's been this way for months now, ever since her 20th birthday when something inside her just stopped. Before that, her wolf had been weak, stunted, barely able to shift. The orphanage keepers said it was because she was defective. Wrong somehow. But at least she'd had something. Now she has nothing. Elara. Driven leans forward, elbows on his knees. Look at me. She doesn't want to. Looking at him makes everything worse, makes her aware of how beautiful he is in that harsh way, makes her feel the pull she can't name, makes her wonder why a king would choose a broken maid when he could have anyone. Please. The please does it. Elara opens her eyes. His expression is softer than before, though intensity still burns beneath. I know you're frightened. I know this seems impossible. But I need you to trust me. I don't know you. Not yet. Something flickers across his face, an emotion she can't read. But you will. The carriage jerks over a rough patch of road. Elara grabs the seat to steady herself, and Driven's hand shoots out, catching her wrist with surprising gentleness. His thumb finds her pulse point, and she knows he can feel how her heart races. Why me? The question tears out of her. I'm nobody. I can't even feel the bond. There were 100 princesses. I don't want princesses. His grip tightens just slightly. I want you. My wolf wants you. That's all that matters. But why? Because you're mine. Said with such finality that Elara's protest dies in her throat. And I protect what's mine. He releases her wrist and sits back, but his eyes never leave her face. Studying her. Searching for something. Elara has been looked at her whole life, examined, judged, found wanting. But this is different. Driven looks at her like she's a puzzle he's desperate to solve, like she holds answers to questions he hasn't asked yet. It should comfort her. Instead, it terrifies her. Nightfang Keep rises from the mountain like something carved from shadow and stone. Ilara's breath catches as the carriage winds up the serpentine path. She's heard stories about the king's fortress, how it's withstood sieges for centuries, how wolves can run for miles through the forests that surround it, how prisoners thrown from the northern tower are never found. Looking at it now, she believes every tale. The courtyard bustles with activity despite the late hour. Guards in black and silver armor snap to attention as Driven emerges from the carriage. He turns back, offering his hand again, and Ilara takes it because she has no choice. The moment her worn shoes touch cobblestone, she feels the stares. Servants pause mid-task. Soldiers exchange glances. A woman in fine silks, some kind of court lady, gasps audibly and whispers behind her hand to her companion. Ilara wants to disappear. To melt into the shadows the way she's done her entire life. Driven's arm wraps around her waist, pulling her against his side. A claim. A statement. This is Ilara, he announces to no one and everyone. Your queen. Anyone who disrespects her answers to me. The whispers don't stop. They just get quieter. A man steps forward, tall, dark-haired, with kind eyes and a beta's bearing. Your Majesty. Welcome home. His gaze shifts to Ilara, assessing but not unkind. My lady. Marcus is my beta, Driven says. My most trusted advisor. You can rely on him. Marcus bows, but something in his expression troubles Ilara. He looks at her the way someone might look at a ghost. Prepare the eastern chambers, Driven tells him. And have food sent up. We'll take no visitors tonight. The eastern chambers? Marcus's eyes widen. Your Majesty, perhaps. The eastern chambers. Steel edges Driven's voice. Is there a problem? No, sire. But Marcus's jaw tightens, and he shoots Ilara another strange look before bowing again. As you command. Driven guides Ilara through massive doors and into the keep proper. The interior is all dark wood and stone, tapestries depicting wolf hunts and battles, torches that cast dancing shadows. Servants scatter as they pass, some bowing, others simply staring with undisguised shock. Ilara catches fragments of whispers. Can't be serious. Looks like her. Won't last a week. Her cheeks burn. She's used to contempt, the orphanage beat it into her bones, but this is different. These people aren't just dismissive. They're horrified. Ignore them, Driven murmurs as they climb a winding staircase. They'll learn. Learn what? That you've gone mad? A ghost of a smile touches his mouth. Perhaps I have. The eastern wing is quieter than the rest of the keep, like sound itself fears to enter. Driven stops before a set of ornate double doors carved with wolves and moonflowers, and something in Ilara's chest tightens. These will be your chambers, he says. Mine are connected through there. He gestures to another door. You'll have privacy when you need it, but I'll be close. He pushes the doors open, and Ilara steps into luxury she's never imagined. The room is enormous, bigger than the entire servants' quarters at the Crystal Moon Palace. A canopy bed draped in silver silk dominates one wall. Plush rugs cover stone floors. A fire crackles in a massive hearth. Windows look out over moonlit forests that stretch to the horizon. But it's the portrait that stops Ilara's heart. Above the mantel hangs a painting of a woman. Dark hair. Delicate features. Eyes the color of storms. A woman who could be Ilara's twin. Who? Her voice comes out strangled. Who is that? Driven's expression shudders. Her name was Lyanna. She was my mate. Was. Past tense. Ilara's mind races. What happened to her? She died. Flat. Final. 3 years ago. The room suddenly feels too small despite its size. Elara turns in a slow circle, really looking now, and sees traces everywhere. A hairbrush on the vanity with strands of dark hair still tangled in the bristles, a book left open on the side table, slippers by the bed. This isn't a guest chamber. This is a shrine. You brought me to her room. Elara's hands curl into fists. You claimed me as your mate and brought me to sleep in a dead woman's bed. Elara. A dead woman who looks exactly like me. Her voice rises, months of suppressed anger finally finding an outlet. What kind of sick game is this? Did you see her in me? Is that why? It's not like that. Driven crosses the distance between them in 2 strides, gripping her shoulders. Yes, you look like her. Yes, I saw the resemblance. But that's not why. Then why? She shoves against his chest, but he doesn't budge. Why claim a packless maid who can't feel the bond? Why put me in her chambers? What do you want from me? His hands tighten on her shoulders, and for the first time, she sees something break through his controlled exterior. Desperation. Raw and bleeding. I want you to be alive. The words sound torn from somewhere deep. I want you to exist. He stops, jaw working. I need you to trust me. Please. You're not making sense. I know. He releases her, stepping back and dragging a hand through his dark hair. I know this is madness. But the moment I scented you, my wolf, he breaks off, struggling for words. It's you. Not Lyanna. You. Elara wraps her arms around herself, feeling small and lost in this room full of ghosts. I can't be her replacement. I don't want you to be. He meets her eyes, and she sees the truth there, or thinks she does. I want you to be exactly who you are. I don't even know who that is. The confession slips out before she can stop it. I was found as a child. No memory, no family, no pack. Just nothing. The orphanage keepers said I probably came from rogues. Bad blood. Interest sharpens Driven's features. Found where? In the woods near the border. I was maybe 5 years old, covered in dirt, couldn't speak for weeks. The memories are hazy, dreamlike. They said I was lucky to be alive. And your wolf? Elara's throat tightens. Weak. Could barely shift until recently. The keepers used to punish me for it, said I was wasting food, that a defective wolf should know her place. She touches her ribs unconsciously, where old scars still linger. They gave me wolfsbane tea every full moon to keep me manageable. I think that's why my wolf never developed properly. Fury flashes across Driven's face, so intense that Elara takes an involuntary step back. Their names. What? The names of the people who hurt you. His voice drops to something dangerous. Give me their names. They're dead now. Fire, 2 years ago. The whole orphanage burned. She'd felt guilty for the relief that flooded her when she heard. I was already working at the palace by then. Driven nods slowly, but the rage doesn't leave his eyes. And your wolf now? The silence, when did it start? 6 months ago. On my 20th birthday. Elara sinks onto the edge of the bed, Lyanna's bed, too exhausted to care anymore. I woke up and she was just gone. I can't shift. Can't feel her. It's like she died inside me. She expects pity. Maybe disgust. Instead, Driven kneels in front of her, bringing them eye to eye. She's not dead. How would you know? Because if she were dead, so would you be. He takes her hands, his own warm and calloused. The wolf and the human are one. If she were truly gone, your body would have followed within days. Elara wants to believe him. God, she wants to. Then where is she? I don't know. But I will find out. He stands, pulling her up with him. You should rest. Tomorrow will be difficult. More difficult than today. A real smile this time, brief but genuine. Much worse. The High Council arrives at noon. They'll want to test you, question you, find any reason to dissolve the mate claim. Perfect. Just perfect. Driven moves toward the connecting door, then pauses. Elara? Lock this door tonight. Both doors. Don't open them for anyone but me or Marcus. Ice trickles down her spine. Why? What? Just a precaution. But his expression says otherwise. Sleep well, little mate. He's gone before she can protest, leaving her alone in a dead woman's room with a stranger's face staring down from the portrait. Elara locks the door. She doesn't sleep. How could she? Every shadow feels wrong. Every creak of old stone sounds like footsteps. The portrait's eyes seem to follow her as she paces, and twice she swears she sees movement in the darkest corners. Around midnight, exhaustion finally drags her to the bed. The sheets smell like lavender and something else, something floral and sweet that must have been Lionna's scent. Elara burrows under the covers, trying to ignore the wrongness of it all. That's when she hears it. A whisper. Soft as silk, cold as winter. You shouldn't exist. Elara bolts upright, heart hammering. The room is empty. The fire has burned low, casting barely enough light to see by. Who's there? Silence. Then. Movement. In the corner farthest from the fire, shadows coalesce into something almost solid. A figure in a hooded cloak, face hidden, hands tucked into voluminous sleeves. Elara scrambles back against the headboard. How did you? The door's locked. Locks mean nothing. The voice is neither male nor female, just wrong somehow. Layered, like multiple people speaking at once. You shouldn't exist, little wolf. Your very presence breaks the natural order. I don't understand. Don't you? The figure glides closer, not walking, gliding, feet never touching the floor. Tell me, child. What do you remember from before? Before what? Before the woods. Before the orphanage. Before they made you forget. Elara's mouth goes dry. I don't remember anything. Liar. Said gently, almost kindly. Deep down, in the place where your wolf sleeps, you remember. You remember blood and moonlight and promises written in starfire. The words trigger something, a flash of memory so brief she almost misses it. Running through trees. Screaming. The smell of smoke and copper. Pain lances through her skull, and she cries out. The figure reaches out one pale hand. It would be kinder to let you die. The bond will kill you anyway. Better it happens now, before. The connecting door explodes inward. Driven stands there in just sleep pants, eyes blazing gold, power rolling off him in waves that make the air crackle. Get away from her. The figure turns, or seems to, though Elara still can't see a face beneath that hood. Driven. Still playing with fire, I see. I said get away from her. He's shifting as he speaks, bones beginning to crack and reform, claws extending. As you wish, my king. The figure bows mockingly. But you know what she is. You know what will happen when the truth comes out. The High Council won't be your only problem. I'll handle them. Will you? A laugh, cold and terrible. You couldn't handle it before. What makes you think this time will be different? Then the figure simply dissolves. Like smoke caught in wind, they're one moment and gone the next. Driven surges forward, but there's nothing left to chase. He spins back to Elara, whose trembling has returned with a vengeance. Are you hurt? Did it touch you? And no. Just, what was that? How did it get in? Magic. He checks the windows, the doors, even the fireplace, but finds nothing. Old magic. The kind that shouldn't exist anymore. Elara wraps her arms around herself. It said I shouldn't exist. That the bond will kill me. Driven, what did it mean? He doesn't answer immediately. Just stands there, silhouetted against the dying fire, looking suddenly older than his 30 years. Get dressed, he finally says. You're sleeping in my chambers tonight. It's warded. Driven. Please. The word again, raw and desperate. I just need you safe. I'll explain everything. I promise. But right now, I need you safe. Elara slides off the bed on shaking legs. She's wearing the shift one of the servants grudgingly provided, and grabs a robe from the wardrobe, another of Lyanna's belongings. Driven leads her through the connecting door into chambers that are the opposite of hers. Where Lyanna's room was elegant and soft, his is all hard edges and dark wood. The bed is massive, unmade, with black sheets tangled like he left in a hurry. There's a couch, he starts. I don't care. Elara climbs onto the bed, exhaustion and terror warring in her chest. Just, please don't leave. Something in his expression softens. Never. He settles on top of the covers, keeping a careful distance between them, but close enough that she can feel his warmth. The scent of him, winter and smoke, wraps around her like a blanket. Tell me about Lyanna, Elara whispers into the darkness. How did she die? A long silence. Then, she was murdered. Poison that looked like natural illness. By the time we realized, it was too late. Who killed her? I don't know. But I'm going to find out. His hand finds hers in the dark, fingers lacing together. Go to sleep, Elara. I'll keep watch. She shouldn't feel safe. Everything about this is wrong, the dead mate, the mysterious figure, the mate bond that should exist but doesn't. But Driven's hand is warm in hers, and exhaustion finally wins. Sleep drags her under like a dark tide. She wakes to sunlight streaming through unfamiliar windows and voices in the hall. Absolutely not. The king's orders were clear. I don't care what his orders were, that girl is not fit to. Elara sits up, disoriented. Driven's bed. Driven's chambers. But Driven is gone, only an indent in the pillow proving he was ever there. The voices continue, growing heated. Elara slides from the bed and cracks open the door. Marcus stands in the hallway, blocking entry to a woman in ice blue silk. She's stunning, tall and willowy, with silver blonde hair and eyes like winter frost. Power radiates from her the way it does from Driven, marking her as more than just nobility. A Lecan. Old bloodline, pure and strong. Lady Seraphine, Marcus says with strained patience. The king is meeting with his generals. He'll receive you this afternoon. I'm not here to see the king. Those frost eyes shift, landing on Elara with the weight of a physical blow. I'm here to meet the little maid who thinks she can be queen. Elara's stomach drops. Seraphine smiles, showing too many teeth. Hello, darling. I'm Lady Seraphine Blackmoon, Duchess of the Northern Peaks. I was meant to be Driven's mate before you appeared. She looks Elara up and down, taking in the borrowed robe, the tangled hair, the bare feet. We should talk. Woman to woman. The king said, Marcus tries. The king isn't here. Seraphine steps around him with casual grace, moving to stand directly in front of Elara. Up close, she smells like expensive perfume and barely restrained violence. Tell me, little maid. Do you really think you can hold him? A packless omega with no wolf and no breeding? Elara lifts her chin, calling on every scrap of dignity she possesses. The king chose me. Did he? Or did he choose a ghost? Seraphine leans in, voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. You look just like her, you know. Lyanna. It's quite remarkable. Almost like you were designed to replace her. The words hit like a slap. That's enough. Marcus moves between them. Lady Seraphine, I must insist. Of course. Seraphine steps back, smile never wavering. I'll see you this afternoon, dear. At the council meeting. I do hope you survive it. She glides away, silk whispering against stone, leaving Alara feeling stripped raw. Marcus turns to her, expression grave. My lady, there's something you should know. Before the council meets. Alara's hands shake. What? He glances down the hallway, ensuring they're alone. When he speaks, his voice is barely above a whisper. That mate bond you can't feel? It should have killed you. The moment the king claimed you, your wolf should have surfaced to accept or reject him. When she didn't, when she stayed silent, the bond should have torn you apart from the inside. Ice floods Alara's veins. But I'm alive. Yes. Marcus's eyes are dark with something like pity. Which means either you're not really his mate, and he's deluded himself into thinking you are, or you're something else entirely. Something powerful enough to survive the impossible. What are you saying? I'm saying the king hasn't told you everything. About Lyanna. About what he suspects. About why he really claimed you despite the danger. Marcus grips her shoulders, urgent. Be careful at that council meeting, my lady. They're going to tear you apart looking for answers. And if they find what they're looking for. What? What will they find? But Marcus is already backing away, shaking his head. That's for the king to tell you. Just, be careful. Trust no one. Not even him. Then he's gone, leaving Alara alone in the hallway, drowning in questions she doesn't know how to ask. The portrait of Lyanna stares at her from the open doorway of the eastern chambers. Somewhere in the keep, a wolf howls. And deep inside Alara's chest, in the place where her wolf should be, something finally stirs. Something that feels nothing like salvation. Wanting to see what would happen next, subscribe to this channel to get to listen to more of our upcoming exciting stories. Click on the subscribe button now. Thank you. Chapter 3. The dress they give Alara for the ceremony is white as bone and twice as heavy as anything she's ever worn. Silver thread traces wolf patterns across the bodice, and moonflowers are embroidered along the hem in painstaking detail. It's beautiful in the way a funeral shroud is beautiful. Hold still, the handmaid mutters, yanking Alara's hair hard enough to bring tears to her eyes. The woman's name is Greta, and she's made her contempt clear from the moment she entered the chambers. Can't have you looking like a stable girl in front of the entire pack. Alara bites her tongue and doesn't respond. She's learned that lesson well over the years. Servants who talk back get punished. But you're not a servant anymore, a small voice whispers. You're supposed to be their queen. The thought makes her want to laugh. Or cry. She hasn't decided which. Through the window, she can see them gathering in the courtyard below. Hundreds of wolves from all 5 kingdoms, here to witness the full moon ceremony. Here to see their king present his chosen mate to the moon goddess and formalize the bond. Here to watch Alara fail. Because she will fail. She knows it bone deep. Her wolf is still silent, still absent, and no amount of ceremonial dress or forced ritual will change that. A knock at the door makes both women jump. Enter, Greta calls imperiously, as if these are her chambers. Marcus steps inside, dressed in formal beta regalia, black leather and silver chains that mark his rank. His expression is carefully neutral, but Alara sees the concern in his eyes when they meet hers. The king requests a moment alone with his mate before the ceremony. Greta sniffs. She's not properly dressed. Now. The command in Marcus's voice brooks no argument. The handmaid shoots Alara a venomous look but curtsies and leaves. Marcus closes the door behind her and leans against it, arms crossed. How are you holding up? I'm terrified. No point in lying. Marcus, I still can't feel my wolf. What happens when the ceremony fails? When everyone sees I'm not really his mate? The king believes you are. That's what matters. Is it? Alara moves to the window, watching the crowd swell. Or will it just make things worse when the truth comes out? Marcus is quiet for a long moment. There's something you should know about tonight. The full moon ceremony isn't just symbolic. He hesitates. It forces the truth. Under the goddess's light, lies become impossible. If the mate bond is real, your wolves will recognize each other. If it's not, I'll be exposed as a fraud. Yes. The word hangs between them like a death sentence. Elara. Marcus crosses to her, voice dropping. When I warned you yesterday, I wasn't exaggerating. The king has been searching for someone, for 3 years. Ever since Lyanna died. He's been obsessed, driven, tracking bloodlines and old records like a man possessed. Searching for what? I don't know. He won't tell me. Frustration bleeds through Marcus's careful control. But when he saw you, something clicked. It was like he'd finally found what he'd been looking for. A chill runs down Elara's spine. You think he's using me? I think he believes you're important. Whether that's the same as caring about you. Marcus shakes his head. Just be careful tonight. The oracle will be there. Oracle? Pack seer. She reads the goddess's will, interprets signs and omens. During the ceremony, she'll examine you both under the moon's light. His jaw tightens. She sees things others can't. Things people want to keep hidden. The warning is clear. Whatever secrets Elara carries, even the ones she doesn't know about, will be laid bare tonight. Another knock. This time, it's Driven. He fills the doorway in formal king's regalia that makes him look even more dangerous than usual. Black leather and dark metal, with his family crest embroidered in silver across his chest. His hair is pulled back, revealing the sharp angles of his face, and those golden eyes find Elara with an intensity that steals her breath. Leave us, he tells Marcus. The beta bows and slips out, shooting Elara one last concerned glance. Driven crosses the room in 3 strides and cups Elara's face in his hands. The touch is gentle, at odds with the raw power radiating from him. You look beautiful. I look like I'm being dressed for sacrifice. The words come out more bitter than intended. His thumb brushes her cheekbone. Are you ready? No. Elara pulls back, wrapping her arms around herself. Driven, I can't do this. My wolf is still gone. Everyone will see. Your wolf isn't gone. How can you possibly know that? Because I feel her. His hand settles over his heart. Right here. The bond is there, Elara. Even if you can't sense it yet. She wants to believe him. God, she wants to. But the evidence of her own empty chest says otherwise. What if you're wrong? What if I get out there and nothing happens, and the whole pack sees that their king has claimed a broken mate? Then they see it. Simple. Unshakable. My choice doesn't change. Why? The question tears out of her. Why are you so certain? Marcus said you've been searching for something. Is it me? Am I some kind of key to whatever obsession has been driving you? Driven's expression shudders. Marcus talks too much. So it's true. Something in her chest cracks. You've been looking for me. Or someone like me. That's why you claimed me, not because of the mate bond, but because I'm useful somehow. It's not that simple. Then explain it to me. Her voice rises, months of confusion and fear finally boiling over. Explain why you put me in your dead mate's room. Explain why everyone looks at me like I'm a ghost. Explain why mysterious figures appear in the night telling me I shouldn't exist. Driven's eyes flash. What? Too late, Elara realizes she never told him about the hooded figure's words. Just that it appeared. It said I shouldn't exist, she continues, voice shaking. That my presence breaks the natural order. That the bond will kill me. And Marcus said the same thing, that surviving your claim without feeling the bond should be impossible. So what am I, Driven? What did you really find when you caught my scent at that ball? He's quiet for so long she thinks he won't answer. When he finally speaks, his voice is rough with emotion she can't name. I found hope. His hands frame her face again, forcing her to meet his eyes. I found the first real hope I've had in 3 years. And I know you're frightened, and I know I'm asking you to trust me without giving you all the answers. But Alara, his forehead touches hers. After tonight, some things will become clear. Not everything. But enough. That's not an answer. It's the only one I can give you right now. He pulls back, and she sees the king again, the ruler who's held 5 kingdoms together through sheer will. The ceremony begins at moonrise. Stay close to me. No matter what happens, no matter what anyone says, stay close to me. It's not reassuring. It's terrifying. The ceremonial grounds lie in a clearing deep in the forest, where ancient stones form a perfect circle beneath the sky. Torches line the perimeter, but they're barely needed. The full moon hangs huge and silver, so bright it casts shadows sharp as knives. Alara's hands shake as Driven leads her into the circle. Hundreds of wolves surround them, packed so tightly she can smell their collective scent, earth and musk and wild things barely contained by human skin. At the center of the stone circle stands a woman who can only be the oracle. She's ancient, her face a map of wrinkles, her hair white as the moon above. But her eyes are young and sharp and hungry, glowing with an inner light that has nothing to do with the torches. Driven Nightfang. Her voice carries despite its whisper-soft quality. You come before the moon goddess to present your chosen mate. I do. Driven's hand tightens on Alara's. This is Alara Thorn. My mate. My queen. Murmurs ripple through the crowd. Alara keeps her chin up, trying to channel dignity she doesn't feel. The oracle's glowing eyes fix on her, and Alara feels the weight of that gaze like a physical thing. Searching. Probing. Looking for something. Come forward, child. Alara's feet move without conscious thought, drawn by command woven into those words. Driven comes with her, never releasing her hand. They stop 3 feet from the oracle, close enough that Alara can see the strange markings tattooed across the old woman's skin, symbols that seem to move in the moonlight. The bond must be tested. The oracle raises one gnarled hand. Under the goddess's light, all truth is revealed. If your claim is true, Alpha King, your wolves will recognize each other. The bond will manifest. And if it doesn't? Someone calls from the crowd, Lady Seraphine, ice blue silk gleaming. What if the girl is a fraud? Then she dies. The oracle says it casually, like discussing the weather. The goddess does not tolerate false claims to sacred bonds. Alara's heart stops. No one told me I could die, she hisses at Driven. You won't. But his jaw is tight, his grip almost painful now. The oracle begins to chant in a language Alara doesn't recognize. Old words, ancient, that make the air itself vibrate. The torches flare higher. The moon seems to pulse, growing brighter with each syllable. Power builds in the circle, thick as honey, pressing against Alara's skin from all sides. Show us, the oracle commands. Show us your wolves. Show us the bond that cannot be broken. Driven's eyes flash gold, and the sound of cracking bones fills the air. But he doesn't shift, just lets his wolf rise to the surface, lets that primal power flood through him until he's more beast than man. Every wolf in the clearing responds, including Alara. Except it's not her wolf that answers. It's something else. Pain explodes through Alara's body, doubling her over. She gasps, tries to scream, but her throat won't work. Her skin feels like it's being flayed, her bones like they're being reformed from the inside out. Alara. Driven's voice, distant and distorted. The world tilts. The moon blazes brighter, no longer silver but blinding white. And deep inside her chest, where there's been nothing but silence for months, something wakes. Not gently. Not kindly. With the force of a hurricane. Her wolf erupts. But it's wrong. God, it's so wrong. Power floods through her, more power than she's ever felt, more than should be possible for a wolf her age and bloodline. It fills her until she thinks she'll burst, until she's drowning in it, until her eyes snap open, and the world has changed. Everything is sharper. Brighter. She can see threads of power connecting every wolf in the clearing, can smell emotions like physical things, can hear heartbeats 100 yards away. And when she looks down at her hands, she sees her skin glowing with markings that weren't there before. Silver lines that trace patterns across her arms, her shoulders, her collarbones. Ancient symbols that pulse in time with her racing heart. The oracle screams. It's a sound of pure terror, high and piercing, and it shatters the silence like glass. Impossible. The old woman scrambles backward, nearly falling. Impossible. The bloodline was destroyed. Every last one. What bloodline? Driven demands, but his eyes are on Alara's glowing skin, on the silver bleeding through her irises. The oracle points a shaking finger at Alara. She bears the mark. The forbidden bloodline. She is Corvinus. The name means nothing to Alara. But it clearly means something to everyone else. The clearing erupts in chaos. Wolves surge forward, some shifting, some shouting. Driven moves in front of Alara, a growl rumbling from his chest that shakes the ground. Marcus appears at his side, already half-shifted. Silence. Driven's command cracks like thunder. The pack quiets, but the fear doesn't leave their eyes. They stare at Alara like she's a monster crawled from nightmares. The Corvinus line was massacred 20 years ago, someone shouts. Executed for treason against the crown. Every last member, another voice adds. Men, women, children. All dead. Then how? She must be a fraud. Or a survivor. Which makes her the enemy. Alara can't breathe. The markings on her skin burn, and her wolf, her finally present wolf, writhes inside her chest, unstable and wrong, like it doesn't quite fit. I don't understand, she whispers, but her voice carries in the sudden hush. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anything about. The Corvinus bloodline, the oracle interrupts, were the original rulers of the 5 kingdoms. The first wolves, blessed by the goddess herself with power beyond measure. Her eyes bore into Alara. They were also traitors who tried to overthrow the rightful king and seize power through dark magic. 20 years ago, they were hunted down and executed. Every last one. I'm not, I was found in the woods as a child. I don't remember. You would have been 5 years old. The oracle's voice drops. The right age. Found near the border, you said? Near where the last Corvinus stronghold burned? No. No, this isn't possible. She's lying, Lady Seraphine steps into the circle, face flushed with triumph. Or she's exactly what the oracle says, a Corvinus survivor. Either way, she cannot be queen. Those frost eyes turn to Driven. Your Majesty, surely you see the impossibility. If she's truly from the forbidden bloodline, your claim on her is either madness or treason. The law is clear, no Corvinus can hold power in the 5 kingdoms. Ever. I know the law. Driven's voice is ice. I also know my mate when I sent her. Then you knowingly claimed the enemy. Seraphine's smile is vicious. How very interesting. The implication hangs in the air, that Driven might be conspiring, might have planned this, might be using Alara for some political coup. I knew. Driven's admission sends shockwaves through the crowd. I suspected what she was the moment I caught her scent. And I've spent the last 3 years searching for her. Alara's world tilts again. You knew? You knew and you didn't tell me? He doesn't look at her. Can't, maybe. I had my reasons. What reasons? Her voice breaks. What could possibly justify? Lady Seraphine is right about one thing. Driven cuts her off, addressing the crowd. Elara cannot simply take her place as queen. Not without proving herself. She can't prove herself. Seraphine snaps. The law can be satisfied through trial by combat. Driven's smile is sharp as broken glass. If Elara can prove her worth in a blood duel, the law allows an exception. Even for Corvinus blood. No. No, absolutely not. But Seraphine's eyes light up like she's been handed a gift. I challenge her, then. For the position of queen and the king's mate bond. She turns to Elara. 7 days from now, under the dark moon. A blood duel to the death or submission. Do you accept? Elara opens her mouth, to refuse, to run, to scream, but Driven speaks first. She accepts. The crowd roars. Some in approval, most in bloodlust. They want to see the upstart Maid torn apart by a Leacan duchess with centuries of training and pure bloodline power. They want to watch her die. Elara spins on Driven. You can't accept for me. I don't know how to fight. I'll be killed. You won't. His hand catches her wrist. 7 days. I'll train you myself. 7 days to learn what she's known her whole life. Elara laughs, high and hysterical. Are you insane? Or do you just want me dead? Something flashes in his eyes, hurt, maybe, or guilt. I'm trying to save you. The duel is the only way to. To what? Legitimize your convenient Corvinus mate? To prove whatever theory you've been obsessing over? Her voice drops, deadly quiet despite the chaos around them. Or to finish what was started 20 years ago when my family was slaughtered? She doesn't wait for an answer. Just turns and runs, pushing through the crowd of wolves who part for her with fear in their eyes. Behind her, she hears Driven roar her name. She doesn't stop. The chambers, lioness chambers, are empty when Elara finally reaches them. She slams both doors and locks them, then collapses against the wall, her whole body shaking. The markings on her skin have faded to faint silver lines, barely visible. But she can still feel them burning beneath the surface. Can still feel her wolf pacing, unstable and wild, trying to break free again. Corvinus. The forbidden bloodline. Her family were traitors. Murderers. Executed for trying to overthrow the kingdom. And Driven knew. Knew and claimed her anyway. But why? What possible reason could he have for binding himself to the enemy's bloodline? Elara's gaze falls on the portrait above the mantel. Lyanna, staring down with those familiar storm-gray eyes. What did you know? Elara thinks at the painted face. What secrets did you die protecting? That's when she sees it. A letter, cream-colored and sealed with wax, sitting on the vanity where nothing had been before. Elara's hands shake as she crosses the room and picks it up. No name, no address. Just a seal pressed with a symbol she doesn't recognize, a wolf and a raven, intertwined. She breaks the seal. The handwriting inside makes her blood run cold. Because it's her handwriting. Not similar. Not close. Exactly hers. The same loops and slants, the same pressure on certain letters, the same little flourish she adds to the letter E. But she didn't write this. The message is brief. Don't trust him. Don't let him complete the bond. When the dark moon rises, run. Don't look back. Don't let him find you. The truth will destroy you both. Your true self. Elara reads it 3 times, ice flooding her veins with each pass. Her true self? What does that even mean? And how is this possible? How could she write herself a letter she doesn't remember writing? Unless a horrible thought occurs. What if the memory loss isn't from trauma? What if something else is wrong with her, something that goes deeper than a missing wolf? What if she's not who she thinks she is at all? A knock at the door makes her jump. She shoves the letter into her pocket. Elara. Dreven's voice, rough with emotion. Please. Let me explain. She should ignore him. Should barricade herself in here until she figures out what's happening. But she needs answers more than she needs safety. Elara unlocks the door. Dreven stands there still in his ceremonial clothes, looking more exhausted than she's ever seen him. His eyes are shadowed, his jaw tight. 7 days, she says before he can speak. You have 7 days to tell me everything. Why you claimed me. Why you've been searching for Corvinus survivors. What you think I am. Her hand touches her pocket, feeling the letter's weight. And if I don't like your answers, I'm gone. Bond or no bond. Elara. Everything, Dreven. Or I walk into that duel and let Seraphine kill me just to spite you. It's a bluff. Probably. But the flash of fear in his eyes says he believes her. All right. He steps into the room, closing the door behind him. But you're not going to like what I have to say. I already don't like it. A ghost of a smile. Fair enough. He moves to the window, staring out at the forest. Do you know why Lyanna was killed? You said you didn't know who did it. I said I didn't know who. Not why. He turns back to her. She was killed because she discovered something. A secret that certain people would do anything, including murder, to keep hidden. Elara's heart pounds. What secret? The truth about the Corvinus massacre. Dreven's eyes meet hers, and she sees pain there, raw and bleeding. It wasn't justice, Elara. It was genocide. The Corvinus line wasn't plotting to overthrow anyone. They were protecting something. Something so dangerous that the High Council decided the entire bloodline had to die to keep it safe. What were they protecting? The original mate bond. The words fall like stones. The true bond, blessed by the goddess herself, that existed before the kingdoms were divided. A bond so powerful it could, he stops, struggling for words. It could change everything. Give one wolf the combined power of both mates, make them nearly invincible, unite the fractured kingdoms under a single rule. Elara's mouth goes dry. That's why you claimed me. You want that power. No. Fierce. Immediate. I want to stop someone else from getting it. Because Lyanna discovered who murdered the Corvinus line. Who wants that power badly enough to kill anyone who gets in their way? Who? Someone on the High Council. Someone close to the throne. Dreven's hands curl into fists. Someone who's spent 20 years making sure every Corvinus heir died before they could manifest their full power and complete the bond. The pieces click together in Elara's mind. You think I'm the last Corvinus heir? I know you are. And you think completing our mate bond will give us access to this original power? Yes. So you're using me. The words taste like ash. Just like I thought. I'm trying to protect you. He crosses to her, desperate. Don't you see? If the High Council realizes what you are, and after tonight, they do, they'll come for you. The only way to keep you safe is to complete the bond before they can strike. To give you enough power to defend yourself. Or to give you enough power to fight them yourself. Direct hit. She sees it in his flinch. Both, he admits quietly. I won't lie to you, Elara. I need your power. But I also, his hand comes up to cup her cheek, and despite everything, she doesn't pull away. I also need you. My wolf recognized you the moment I caught your scent. Not because you're useful. Because you're mine. How convenient, Elara whispers, that your fated mate happens to be exactly what you need for your revenge plot. It's not revenge. It's justice for Lyanna. For your family. For a family I don't remember. Tears burn her eyes. You keep talking about the Corvinus line like it means something to me, but I don't know those people. I don't know what they protected or why they died or anything except that apparently I'm descended from traitors. They weren't traitors. They were heroes. Then why is everyone so terrified of me? Driven doesn't have an answer for that. Elara pulls away, wrapping her arms around herself. The letter in her pocket feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds. Don't trust him. Don't let him complete the bond. 7 days, she says again. Teach me to fight. Train me for this stupid duel. But after, her voice hardens. After, I make my own choices about the bond. About everything. Understood? It costs him, but he nods. Understood. Get out. I need to think. He hesitates, clearly wanting to argue, then heads for the door. But before he leaves, he turns back. Elara? The markings on your skin during the ceremony, did you feel them before tonight? No. Why? His expression is grave. Because they shouldn't have appeared yet. Not without the bond being complete. Which means your power is manifesting on its own. He pauses. Which means we might have less than 7 days before someone tries to kill you. Then he's gone, leaving Elara alone with impossible truths and a letter in her own handwriting warning her to run. Outside, the full moon hangs heavy and silver. Inside, Elara's wolf finally speaks. And what it says makes her blood run cold. He's right about one thing. They're coming for us. And when they do, everyone you love will die. Just like before. If you're still listening to this story up to this point, why don't you subscribe to this channel to continue getting impactful daily stories like this? We would be most grateful if you can do that to help boost this video to reach everyone. Thank you. Chapter 4. Sleep doesn't come. Elara lies in Liona's bed, no, her bed now, she supposes, and stares at the ceiling until her eyes burn. The letter sits on the nightstand, its words seared into her memory. Every time she closes her eyes, she sees those silver markings crawling across her skin, hears the oracle's scream, feels the wrongness of her wolf finally surfacing after months of silence. Your true self. What does that even mean? Around 3 in the morning, she gives up on rest. The palace is quiet at this hour, just the occasional footstep of a guard making rounds. Elara slips from the bed and pulls on a simple dress, one of the few things that actually belongs to her and not a dead woman. She needs answers. Real ones, not Driven's carefully parsed half-truths. The forbidden archives are in the oldest part of Nightfang Keep, down 3 flights of stairs and through corridors that haven't seen sunlight in centuries. Elara knows because she asked a servant earlier, a young girl who looked terrified to be speaking to her but answered anyway. No one goes there anymore, my lady, the girl had whispered. Not since the king sealed them after Queen Lina died. Which makes them exactly where Elara needs to be. The corridors grow colder as she descends, the torches fewer and farther between. Her wolf stirs uneasily, and Elara still hasn't gotten used to the sensation, having something alive and aware inside her chest after so long alone. Why now? She asks it silently. Why surface during the ceremony and not before? The wolf doesn't answer in words. Just sends her impressions, danger, urgency, the scent of blood on snow. Helpful. The archive door is massive oak banded with iron, and there's a lock that looks complex enough to keep out anyone without the key. Elara reaches for the handle anyway, not sure what she plans to do. It swings open at her touch. Unlocked. Every instinct screams trap, but Elara steps inside anyway. She's past the point of caution. The archives smell like old paper and dust and something else, magic, maybe, or just time itself. Shelves tower to the ceiling, packed with books and scrolls and leather-bound ledgers. A single lamp burns on a reading table, as if someone knew she was coming. Elara's hands shake as she begins to search. She doesn't know what she's looking for exactly. Records of the Corvinus line, maybe. Something that explains who she is, why her family was massacred, what power flows through her veins that makes everyone look at her with such fear. The first hour yields nothing but territorial disputes and tax records. The second hour brings her to a section on bloodline genealogies, but the Corvinus entries have been torn out, physically ripped from the binding, leaving only jagged edges. Someone didn't want this information found. Elara is about to give up when she spots it, a false bottom in one of the lower shelves. The kind of hiding place you'd only notice if you were looking for it. Inside lies a single journal, leather cracked with age, tied shut with a ribbon that was once red but has faded to rust. Her hands tremble as she unties it. The first page stops her heart. Property of Corvinus Research Division, classified. Project, Severance. Lead Researcher, High Counselor Varen. Lord Varen. Head of the High Council. The man who'd been so furious when Dreven claimed her. Elara flips through pages of clinical notes, diagrams of wolf anatomy, descriptions of experiments that make her stomach turn. And then she finds it, a section titled The Gift. The Corvinus bloodline carries a unique genetic mutation that manifests in approximately 60% of heirs. This mutation grants two primary abilities. 1. Immunity to alpha command. Corvinus wolves cannot be compelled by dominance, regardless of the commanding alpha's strength. This makes them effectively ungovernable by traditional pack hierarchy. 2. Bonds severance. Corvinus wolves can sever mate bonds, even fully consummated ones. This ability is instinctive and activates in response to perceived threats to the bondholder. Combined, these abilities make the Corvinus line extremely dangerous to established power structures. A Corvinus wolf could theoretically dissolve the mate bonds that hold pack alliances together, creating chaos across all kingdoms. Recommendation: complete eradication of the bloodline before the younger generation reaches maturity and manifests these abilities. The words blur as tears fill Elara's eyes. They weren't killed for treason. They were killed for being born different. For having abilities that threatened the people in power. Her family was slaughtered because of what they could do. And she. God. If she carries this gift, she's not just a threat to the High Council. She's a threat to every bond-based alliance in the 5 kingdoms. Including her own supposed bond with Dreven. No wonder everyone looks at her like she's a monster. I thought you might come here eventually. Elara spins, the journal clutched to her chest. Dreven stands in the doorway, still dressed in dark pants and an open shirt, like he hasn't slept either. His expression is unreadable in the lamplight. How long have you been watching me? Her voice comes out steadier than she feels. Long enough. He steps into the archive, and the door swings shut behind him with a heavy thud. Did you find what you were looking for? Elara holds up the journal. Did you know? About what my family could do? Yes. The admission shouldn't hurt. She already knew he'd been keeping secrets. But hearing him confirm it. So that's why you claimed me. Not for some original mate bond. Because I can break bonds. Her laugh is brittle. What's the plan, Dreven? Use me to dissolve the alliances that keep the High Council in power? Make yourself the sole ruler of the 5 kingdoms? No. He moves closer, and she backs away until she hits the shelf. Elara, listen to me. I'm done listening to you. The journal falls from her hands as rage boils over. You've lied to me from the beginning. You knew what I was, you knew why my family died, and you claimed me anyway like I'm some kind of weapon you can use. You're not a weapon. His voice drops. You're... What? Your mate. She laughs again, high and sharp. We both know that's not true. The bond you feel isn't for me. Silence. Heavy and terrible. What are you talking about? But his expression has shuddered completely, which tells her everything. Lyanna. Elara forces the name out. She was Corvinus too, wasn't she? That's why she looks like me. We're related. She was your half-sister. The words fall like stones. Same mother, different fathers. I didn't know until after she died, when I found her research. The world tilts. Sister. She had a sister. She was investigating the massacre, Dreven continues, voice rough. trying to find other survivors. She'd tracked down your mother's lineage, discovered she'd had another daughter who'd been lost as a child. His eyes meet Alara's. You. So you've known all along. The betrayal cuts deeper than any blade. You knew Lyanna was my sister, knew I existed, and when she died. I searched for you for 3 years. Something breaks in his voice. I turned over every stone, followed every lead, drove Marcus half mad with my obsession. Because Lyanna made me promise, the night she died, she made me swear I'd find you. Protect you. Alara's knees go weak. Why? Because she knew they'd come for you next. Whoever killed her, whoever wanted the Corvinus line extinct, they'd hunt down any surviving heir. Dreven's hand comes up, like he wants to touch her, but he stops himself. I claimed you to protect you. Yes, I need your help to find her killer. But I also, he struggles for words. I also couldn't bear the thought of failing her again. Of letting another sister die. Another sister. Not his mate. Not his true bond. Just his dead mate's sibling. The bond you feel, Alara whispers. Is it even real? Or is it just, what, your wolf confused because I look like her? I don't know. The honesty of it hurts worse than any lie. My wolf recognized you. The scent, the pull, it's all real. But whether that's because you're truly my mate or because you're her sister. He shakes his head. I don't know. The tears come then, hot and unstoppable. Alara slides down the shelf until she's sitting on the cold floor, the journal's contents burning in her mind. She's not his mate. Just a replacement. A tool. A way to avenge the woman he actually loved. I want you to leave, she says quietly. Alara. Now. She doesn't look at him. Can't. Training starts tomorrow. You'll teach me to fight because we made a deal. But right now, I want you gone. For a long moment, he doesn't move. Then his footsteps retreat, and the door opens and closes with a soft click. Alara buries her face in her hands and finally lets herself break. The first assassination attempt comes 2 days later. Alara is in the training yard, exhausted and bruised from hours of Dreven teaching her combat basics. Her body aches in places she didn't know could ache, and her wolf is no help, still unstable, still wrong, surfacing at random moments and making her movements unpredictable. Again, Dreven commands, circling her with a wooden practice sword. You're dropping your left side. I'm tired. Seraphine won't care. He lunges, and Alara barely blocks in time. She'll use every weakness. Exploit every opening. Alara grits her teeth and attacks, channeling her anger and hurt into the movements. For a few seconds, she actually holds her own, until Dreven sweeps her legs and she crashes to the ground hard enough to knock the wind from her lungs. Dead, he says flatly. 5 days until the duel, and you're still fighting like a servant who's never held a weapon. Maybe because I am a servant who's never held a weapon. She accepts his offered hand and lets him pull her up. You can't turn me into a warrior in 7 days, Dreven. It's impossible. It has to be possible. There's desperation under the steel in his voice. Because if you lose. I know. I die. Alara retrieves her fallen practice sword. Funny how your grand plan to protect me involves me fighting a blood duel against one of the most powerful lycans in the kingdoms. There's no other way. The law. The law is convenient for everyone who wants me dead. Before Dreven can respond, Marcus appears at the edge of the training yard. His expression is grim. Your Majesty. We have a problem. They find the poison chalice in Alara's chambers. It's sitting innocuously on her bedside table, filled with wine that smells faintly of almonds. The same poison that killed Lyanna, Marcus confirms after a careful examination. Someone has access to the royal wing, Dreven says, voice deadly calm. Someone who can move freely without raising suspicion. The list of people with that kind of clearance is short, Marcus replies. He hasn't looked at Alara directly since they entered the room. High Council members, senior staff, the royal family. Check everyone. I don't care who they are or how long they've served. Dreven's hand finds the small of Alara's back, a gesture that's become automatic. Double the guards on Alara's chambers. And have everything she eats or drinks tested. Yes, sire. Marcus turns to go, then pauses. My lady, might I have a word? Alone? Dreven's jaw tightens. Whatever you need to say. Is for Lady Alara's ears only. Steel edges Marcus's voice. Unless you've stripped me of my right to counsel the queen. The title lands like a blow. Marcus has never called her that before. Dreven looks between them, clearly unhappy, but finally nods. I'll be right outside. When the door closes, Marcus's composure crumbles. He crosses to the window, hands gripping the sill hard enough to whiten his knuckles. You look like her, he says quietly. It's uncanny. The same eyes, the same way you stand when you're nervous. Alara's heart clenches. You knew Lyanna. I loved her. Raw. Broken. We grew up together. Trained together. I was going to, he stops, swallows hard. Before Dreven claimed her as his mate, we were. Together. Understanding crashes over Alara. You and my sister. Not officially. The mate bond supersedes everything, and when Dreven's wolf recognized her. Marcus's laugh is bitter. I stepped aside. Like a good beta. Like a loyal friend. He finally turns to face her. And then she died on her wedding night, and I. His voice breaks completely. Alara crosses to him without thinking, placing a hand on his arm. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Be smart. Marcus grabs her shoulders, urgent. Dreven got her killed. His obsession with finding the conspiracy, his determination to root out corruption, it made her a target. And now he's doing the same thing with you. He's trying to protect me. Is he? Or is he using you as bait to draw out whoever killed Lyanna? Marcus's eyes burn. Think about it. Why claim you so publicly? Why insist on the blood duel instead of finding another way? He's painting a target on your back, Alara. Just like he did with her. The words echo too closely to her own fears. I don't know what you want me to do, Alara whispers. Run. Tonight. I'll help you. We can. No. She pulls away. I won't run. Why not? Because of the bond? We both know it's not real. Because of my sister. The admission tears out of her. Because Lyanna died trying to protect me, and I won't dishonor that by fleeing. I'm going to fight. I'm going to win. She meets his eyes. And then I'm going to find out who killed her. Marcus stares at her for a long moment. Then, slowly, he nods. You're more like her than you know. It's the kindest thing anyone's said to her since this nightmare began. The memories start during training the next day. Alara is sparring with Dreven, her movements finally starting to flow instead of feeling forced, when something in her vision shifts. The training yard overlaps with another place, a bedroom draped in silk, moonlight streaming through windows, the scent of jasmine and blood. She stumbles, and Dreven catches her. Alara? What's wrong? But she can't answer. Can't breathe. Because the memory is flooding through her like a dam breaking. A woman with Alara's face lying on a bed, dark hair spread like a fan, eyes wide and unseeing. Blood soaking through white sheets. A child screaming, Alara, she realizes, a younger version of herself, held back by strong hands while a figure in a hooded cloak bends over the body. Hush, little one. A voice she should recognize but doesn't. It had to be done. She would have ruined everything. The figure turns, and for just a second, the hood falls back far enough for Alara to see. She gasps, the memory fracturing. Alara. Driven shakes her gently. Talk to me. Her voice won't work. I was there. The night Lyanna died. I was there. His expression goes very still. That's impossible. You were at the orphanage. I checked. I was there. The certainty of it rings through her bones. I saw it happen. I saw who killed her. Around them, the few guards who'd been watching the training session edge closer, hands on weapons. Driven's grip tightens on her arms. Who? Who did you see? But before Alara can answer, pain explodes through her skull. She cries out, knees buckling, and Driven has to hold her upright as more memories crash through her mind. Running through dark corridors, small legs pumping, someone chasing her. Voices shouting. The smell of smoke. Being shoved into a closet, a woman's face, Lyanna's face, pressed close. Stay here. Don't come out no matter what. I love you, little star. I love you so much. The closet door closing. Darkness. Screaming. Then nothing. She hid me, Alara gasps when she can speak again. Lyanna hid me. She knew they were coming, knew they'd kill her, and tears streamed down her face. She saved me. Sent me away. Made everyone forget I existed. Who came? Driven demands. Who killed her? I can't see their face clearly. But they had, she struggles to hold on to the fragmentary images. They had royal clearance. They knew the palace. They knew exactly where to find her. Which means the killer is still here. Still has access. Still wants Alara dead. A commotion at the entrance to the training yard makes everyone turn. A young woman rushes in, her simple gray dress marking her as a servant. Lady in waiting, Alara's mind supplies, one of the girls assigned to attend her. My lady. The girl is breathless, face flushed. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but you need to come quickly. What's wrong? Driven steps forward, protective. But the girl's eyes stay locked on Alara. Someone left something in your chambers. A message. I think, she swallows hard. I think you need to see it. The walk back to the royal wing feels endless. Alara's head still throbs from the memories, and her wolf is pacing frantically, sending waves of unease through her body. The girl, Lissa, Alara remembers now, leads them to the eastern chambers. The door stands open, guards flanking it with grim expressions. Inside, written across the mirror in what looks like blood, are 4 words. Your sister's not dead. Alara's heart stops. That's impossible, Driven says flatly. I saw Lyanna's body. I buried her myself. Maybe you buried the wrong person. The voice comes from behind them. They all spin. Lissa stands in the doorway, but everything about her has changed. The nervous girl is gone, replaced by someone older, harder, with eyes that hold ancient knowledge. Who are you? Driven's hand goes to the blade at his hip. Lissa, or whoever she really is, pulls back her sleeve, revealing a mark on her wrist. A wolf and a raven, intertwined. The same symbol from the letter. I'm a friend. Or trying to be. She looks at Alara. You've been having visions, haven't you? Memories that don't quite fit? Moments where you feel like you're 2 people at once? Alara's blood runs cold. How do you know that? Because I was there. The night they tried to kill the Corvinus heirs. Lissa steps into the room, and the guards move to stop her, but Driven waves them back. They thought they got everyone. But Lyanna was clever. She didn't just hide you, Alara. She split you. Split her? Driven's voice is dangerous. What are you talking about? The Corvinus gift doesn't just break mate bonds. It can break souls. Lissa's eyes are filled with pity. Lyanna took everything that made you powerful, your memories, your full wolf, your abilities, and locked them away. Made you small and forgettable so you'd survive. Then she sent the other half, the powerful half, somewhere safe. Elara can't breathe. You're saying I'm, what? Half a person? I'm saying your true self has been hidden for 20 years. And she's been waiting. Lissa pulls a small vial from her pocket, filled with silvery liquid. This will restore what was taken. Reunite the two halves. Make you whole. Don't. Driven moves between them. We don't know what that is. It's the truth. Lissa meets Alara's eyes. Your sister isn't dead. She's been in hiding, same as you. But she's been preparing, growing strong, and now, her expression hardens. Now she wants you to fail. The blood duel, the assassination attempts, all of it is designed to either kill you or force you to bond with Driven before you're whole. Why would Lyanna want that? Because the bond will trap you. Lock you into this half-state forever. Lissa holds out the vial. She needs you whole to complete what she started. To finish what the Corvinus line began. Elara stares at the offered vial, her mind reeling. If this is true, if she's been living as half a person, then everything she knows about herself is a lie. Her weakness, her broken wolf, her inability to feel the bond, all of it manufactured to keep her safe. But safe for what? For whom? How do I know you're telling the truth? She whispers. Lissa pulls back her hood completely, and Alara's breath catches. Because she has Lyanna's eyes. The same storm gray, the same ancient depth. Because I'm family too, Lissa says softly. Lyanna was my sister. Which makes you my niece. She presses the vial into Alara's hand. Your sister loves you. Everything she did was to protect you. But she can't finish this alone. She needs you whole. She needs her little star. Little star. The endearment from the memory. Tears blur Alara's vision. Where is she? Where's Lyanna? Closer than you think. Lissa backs toward the door. Drink that before the dark moon. Become who you were always meant to be. And Alara? She pauses. Don't trust him. Driven's love for Lyanna died with her. What he feels for you is guilt and obsession, nothing more. The bond will only bind you to his regrets. Then she's gone, slipping past the guards like smoke. Driven reaches for the vial, but Alara pulls it away. Don't, he says. Please. We don't know what that is or what it will do to you. Alara looks down at the silvery liquid, then back up at Driven. At the man who claimed her knowing she was his dead mate's sister. Who's been using her to find a killer. Who doesn't even know if their bond is real. 3 days until the blood duel, she says quietly. Maybe it's time I stopped being half of who I'm supposed to be. Alara. But she's already opening the vial, the scent of moonlight and magic filling her nose. She drinks it before she can change her mind. The effect is immediate. Power floods through her, real power, not the unstable mess from before, and her wolf surges to the surface with a roar that shakes the windows. The markings blaze across her skin, brilliant silver, and her eyes, she can feel them changing, shifting from brown to pure argent. And with the power come the memories. All of them. Her sister's face as she performed the splitting ritual, tears streaming down her cheeks. The High Council member who'd ordered the massacre, Lord Varen, just as she'd suspected. The real reason the Corvinus line had to die. And worse, oh God, so much worse, the truth about Driven. He hadn't just failed to protect Lyanna. He'd been the one who brought the assassin into the palace. Unknowingly, yes. Manipulated by forces he didn't understand. But it was his trust in the wrong person, his determination to root out corruption, that had led the killer straight to Lyanna's door. Marcus was right. Driven got her sister killed. And now he's doing the same to her. Alara screamed tears through the palace as her full power awakens, as her true self crashes into this carefully constructed shell and shatters it completely. The girl who scrubbed floors is gone. In her place stands something ancient. Something powerful. Something that remembers everything. Including exactly how her sister died, and who she needs to kill to avenge her. If you're still listening to this story up to this point, why don't you subscribe to this channel to continue getting impactful daily stories like this? We would be most grateful if you can do that to help boost this video to reach everyone. Thank you. Chapter 5. The dark moon hangs invisible in the sky, but Alara can feel it, a void where light should be, a hunger in the darkness that echoes the hollow place in her chest where her wolf used to live quietly. Now her wolf is a storm. 3 days since she drank Lissa's potion. 3 days of memories crashing through her mind like waves against rocks, each one revealing truths she wishes she could unknow. 3 days of power surging through her veins, unstable and wild, making her skin glow with silver markings that won't fade. 3 days of avoiding Driven's eyes because she knows what she'll see there, guilt and desperation and a love built on the grave of her sister. Not Lyanna. Celine. That was her sister's real name. The memories show her everything now, a woman with storm-gray eyes and fierce determination, who'd loved Driven with a passion that consumed her. Who'd died in his arms, or seemed to, blood-soaking white sheets while he screamed for help that came too late. Except she hadn't died at all. The revelation sits in Alara's gut like poison. Her sister is alive. Has been alive this whole time, pulling strings from the shadows, orchestrating everything. But why? It's time, my lady. Alara turns from the window to find Marcus at her door. He's dressed in formal beta regalia again, but his eyes are haunted. He knows something's changed in her, everyone does. The servants scatter when she passes now, and even the guards watch her with wary respect. How do I look? She gestures to herself, fitted black leather armor that moves like a second skin, her dark hair braided back warrior style, silver markings visible on every inch of exposed skin. Like a weapon, she thinks. Like something dangerous. Like you might actually survive this, Marcus says, but there's no humor in it. Alara. I know. She crosses to him, placing a hand on his arm. Whatever happens out there, thank you. For loving her. For being honest with me. His jaw tightens. She would have liked you. Celine. He stops, swallows hard. She talked about you sometimes, when we were alone. Her baby sister, lost in the woods. She never stopped looking. The words are a knife to the heart. Then why hasn't she come for me? If she's alive, if she's been in hiding all this time, why not just reveal herself? I don't know. Marcus shakes his head. But I have a bad feeling about tonight. About this whole thing. Promise me you'll be careful. I promise. It's a lie, but a kind one. The ceremonial grounds are packed with wolves from every corner of the 5 kingdoms. Thousands of them, all gathered to watch either a miracle or an execution. Torches ring the stone circle, their flames whipping in the wind that's picked up as night deepened. At the center stands Lady Seraphine. She's magnificent in silver armor that catches the torchlight, her blonde hair loose and flowing, power radiating from her like heat. A Lycan in her prime, trained since birth for combat, with centuries of warrior bloodline flowing through her veins. Alara is going to die. The thought is distant, clinical. She should be terrified, but the power thrumming through her body has burned away most human emotions, leaving only crystalline focus. And rage. So much rage. The challenged arrives. The oracle's voice rings out, and the crowd parts. Driven waits at the edge of the circle. He's dressed simply, black pants and shirt, no crown, no regalia. Just a man who looks like he hasn't slept in days. Their eyes meet, and Alara sees everything there, fear, guilt, desperate hope. He reaches for her hand. She pulls away. Alara. Don't. Her voice is cold. After tonight, we're done. Whatever this bond is, whatever you think we are, it ends here. Pain flashes across his face, but he nods. If that's what you want. It is. Another lie. But necessary. The oracle steps between them, ancient eyes glowing in the torchlight. The challenge has been issued and accepted. Blood duel to determine the rightful queen. The rules are simple: fight until one submits or dies. No interference, no mercy. She looks between Alara and Seraphine. The goddess will judge who is worthy. I'm ready, Seraphine calls, her voice carrying across the clearing. That frost smile plays on her lips. Let's see what the little maid is really made of. The crowd murmurs, excitement, bloodlust, anticipation. Alara steps into the circle. The moment her foot crosses the boundary, power slams into her from all sides. The ancient stones hum with magic, creating a dome that seals them in. She can feel it pressing against her skin, watching, waiting, judging. Seraphine doesn't waste time with words. She shifts mid-lunge, clothes tearing as her body transforms into a massive silver wolf, and crosses the distance between them in a heartbeat. Alara barely dodges, rolling left as claws rake the air where her head was. Her own wolf surges forward, demanding release, but she holds it back. Not yet. She needs to understand what she's facing first. Seraphine circles, growling, and Alara finally sees what Driven's training was trying to teach her: how to read an opponent's body language, anticipate the next strike, find the openings. There. A slight favor of the left foreleg. An old injury, maybe, or just habit. When Seraphine lunges again, Alara is ready. She sidesteps and brings her blade down across the wolf's shoulder, not deep, just enough to draw first blood. The crowd roars. Seraphine snarls and shifts back to human form, silver blood dripping from the shallow cut. Lucky hit. Was it? Alara's wolf is clawing at her control now, begging to be released. Try again. They clash in earnest then, a blur of blade and claw, human and wolf, power against power. Seraphine is faster, stronger, more experienced. But Alara has something the Leaken Duchess doesn't. Desperation. And slowly, impossibly, memories that aren't quite hers. Fighting techniques she's never learned flow through her muscles like water finding familiar channels. Her sister's memories, she realizes. Celine's training, her battles, her hard-won knowledge, all of it downloaded into Alara's mind when she drank that potion. She's fighting with a dead woman's skill. Except Celine isn't dead. The thought breaks her concentration for just a second, but a second is all Seraphine needs. Pain explodes across Alara's ribs as claws tear through leather and flesh. She gasps, stumbling back, and her hand comes away red. First real blood to me, Seraphine says, circling like a shark. Ready to submit yet, little maid? Alara's wolf roars inside her chest, and this time she lets it come. The shift is agony and ecstasy combined. Her bones crack and reform, her senses sharpen to impossible clarity, power floods every cell. But it's wrong somehow, the markings on her skin burn brighter instead of fading, and her eyes, she knows without seeing, have gone pure silver. Not the gold of a normal wolf. Silver. Moon-touched. The crowd gasps. Even Seraphine backs up a step, uncertainty crossing her perfect features. Because Alara's wolf is massive. Bigger than any normal wolf should be, with fur like midnight and eyes like starlight. The markings from her human skin have transferred, glowing silver across her pelt in ancient patterns. And when she growls, every wolf in the clearing, including the alphas, feels the urge to submit. Impossible, the oracle breathes. Moonborn. She's moonborn. The term means nothing to Alara, but judging by the fear in Seraphine's eyes, it should. They clash again, wolf against wolf now, and the fight becomes brutal. Blood stains the stone circle. Alara's wounds multiply, her shoulder, her flank, a deep gash along her throat that makes breathing difficult. But she's landing hits too. And with each strike, something strange happens. Seraphine's movements become jerky. Unnatural. Like a puppet on strings that keep tangling. Alara circles warily, panting, and really looks at her opponent for the first time since the power awakened. There, in Seraphine's eyes. A flicker of something that isn't the Leakin Duchess. Something cold and calculating and horribly familiar. Storm gray instead of frost blue. Celine. The realization hits like lightning. Elara shifts back to human, ignoring her nakedness, ignoring the blood streaming from a dozen wounds. You're not Seraphine. The silver wolf stops mid-lunge, tilting its head. I can see you, Elara continues, her voice carrying across the suddenly silent clearing. In her eyes. Controlling her. How long has the real Seraphine been dead? The wolf shifts back, and Seraphine's face wears an expression that's all wrong, too knowing, too cold. When she speaks, the voice has a double timbre. Clever girl. 3 weeks, if you must know. She was so easy to kill. So trusting. Seraphine's mouth curves into a smile that belongs to someone else. I needed a vessel in the palace. Someone with access, with power, with a legitimate claim to challenge you. Celine. Dreven's voice cuts through the night. He's at the edge of the circle, hands pressed against the magical barrier, his expression shattered. How, you died. I felt you die. You felt what I wanted you to feel. Seraphine's body moves with Celine's grace now, the pretense dropped. Blood magic is useful that way. A little ritual, some carefully placed herbs, and everyone believes what they see. The crowd erupts in chaos, shouting, accusations, wolves beginning to shift. But the barrier holds, keeping them out. Keeping Elara trapped in. Why? The word tears from Dreven's throat. Why fake your death? Why frame your own family? Why? Because I needed time. Celine's stolen eyes find him across the distance. Time to prepare, to grow strong, to gather what I needed for the ritual. And I needed you broken, Dreven. Desperate enough to claim anyone who reminded you of me. She gestures to Elara. I knew you'd search for the lost Corvinus heir once you found my research. Knew you'd recognize her scent, our blood runs too similar for you not to. I counted on your guilt, your obsession, your need to save what you couldn't save before. Celine laughs, and the sound makes Elara's skin crawl. You played your part perfectly. Dreven looks like he's been gutted. This was all, everything was. A game. A manipulation. A very long con to get exactly what I needed. Celine turns back to Elara. My darling baby sister, restored to her full power. Moonborn, just like our mother. The rarest gift, the strongest magic, everything I need to complete the ascension ritual. Elara's wolf snarls inside her chest. What ritual? The one that will make me a god. Simple. Matter of fact. You see, little star, the Moonborn don't just break bonds. They hold the key to unlimited power. Your essence, your wolf, your very soul, if consumed through the right ritual, they grant the user dominion over all wolves. Alpha command that can't be resisted. Bond creation and destruction at will. Her eyes gleam with madness. I could remake the kingdoms. End all the wars, all the conflicts, all the stupid hierarchies that keep us divided. By killing me. Sacrifice is necessary for greatness. The casual way she says it, like Elara's life means nothing, like 20 years of hiding and suffering and fear were just steps in a plan, ignites something in Elara's chest. Not her wolf. Something deeper. The markings on her skin blaze so bright the clearing floods with silver light. Power pours from her in waves, and she finally understands what Moonborn means. She can feel every wolf here. Feel their bonds, their connections, their pack links like threads of light connecting them all. And more, she can touch those threads. Manipulate them. Break them. You made a mistake, Elara says quietly, and her voice carries the weight of ancient authority. You assumed I'd be easy to kill. That my power would be unstable, uncontrolled. Isn't it? But uncertainty creeps into Celine's stolen voice. It was. Until you gave me the final piece. Elara takes a step forward, and Seraphine's body involuntarily retreats. The potion didn't just restore my memories. It showed me what you are. What you've become. She reaches out with her newfound senses and finds it, a thread of blood magic connecting Celine's true body to Seraphine's corpse puppet. A thread that pulses with stolen power and dark ritual. Elara grabs it with her will and pulls. Seraphine's body convulses, screaming in two voices, one the Duchess's death cry, one Celine's rage. The connection phrase weakens. No. Celine's power lashes out, trying to maintain control. You don't know what you're doing. If you break this connection, I'll free her. Elara pulls harder, pouring her moonborn gift into the effort. And expose you for what you really are. The thread snaps. Seraphine's body drops like a puppet with cut strings. Dead before she hits the ground, had been dead for weeks, Elara realizes, just animated through Celine's magic. But now that the connection is severed, something else happens. The air beside the corpse shimmers, and a figure materializes, a woman in dark robes, face hidden by a hood. But when she pushes it back, revealing storm-gray eyes and Elara's features twisted by madness and time, there's no denying who she is. Celine. In the flesh. And she's beautiful and terrible, power radiating from her in waves that make even the ancient stones tremble. Well done, little star. Celine's smile is proud and poisonous. You're stronger than I anticipated. Mother would be pleased. Mother's dead. Elara's voice shakes. They're all dead. Because of you. Because they were weak. Celine's composure cracks. They could have fought back, could have used the gifts the goddess gave us to destroy our enemies. Instead, they hid. They cowered. They let themselves be slaughtered like animals. They were protecting us. They were cowards. Celine's eyes blaze. But you're different. You survived. You grew strong despite being split, despite having your power locked away. You're worthy of what I'm offering. Offering? Elara laughs bitterly. You're planning to kill me. I'm planning to make us eternal. Celine spreads her hands, pleading now. Join me willingly. Let me merge our powers instead of taking yours by force. Together, we could. I'd rather die. Celine's expression hardens. That can be arranged. She attacks with magic, not claws, tendrils of dark power that slam into the barrier and shatter it like glass. Wolves scatter as the protection falls, leaving Elara exposed. Driven surges forward, but Celine flicks a hand and invisible force throws him back 20 feet. Marcus tries next, along with several guards, but they meet the same fate. This is between sisters, Celine says, advancing on Elara. No one interferes. Elara's wolf rises to meet the threat, but she can feel it now, the instability, the fractures forming in her power. Restoring herself so quickly, using the moonborn gift without training, it's tearing her apart from the inside. She has minutes, maybe, before her wolf consumes her completely or her human mind shatters under the strain. Not enough time to win this fight. Unless. Elara's eyes find Driven's across the clearing. He's struggling to his feet, blood running from a cut on his temple, his expression desperate. She sees the bond then, really sees it for the first time. Not between her and Driven. Between him and Celine. It's twisted, corrupted by her blood magic and the faked death, but it's there. A golden thread connecting their souls, frayed and damaged but still intact. And as long as it exists, Celine can use it. Can drain his strength, manipulate his emotions, keep him bound to her memory. Elara knows what she has to do. I'm sorry, she whispers, though Driven can't possibly hear her. Then she reaches out with her moonborn power and grabs the bond. Celine's eyes widen. Don't you dare. You wanted to see what I could do. Elara's hands move, pulling at threads of power only she can see. Let me show you. The mate bond between Driven and Selene is old, strong, woven through years of love and loss and obsession. Breaking it should be impossible. But Alara is moonborn. And the impossible is what she was made for. She pulls. The bond resists, fighting her, trying to hold on. Driven screams, she can hear him even across the distance, can feel his agony as something fundamental tears inside him. Selene staggers, her power flickering. Stop. You'll kill him. Better that than let you control him forever. With a final surge of power that feels like ripping out her own heart, Alara severs the bond completely. The backlash hits them all. Driven collapses, clutching his chest. Selene drops to her knees, gasping, her stolen power bleeding away. And Alara's wolf fractures. She can feel it happening, her power turning inward, consuming itself, the two halves of her soul that were forced back together now tearing apart again. The markings on her skin burn like brands, and her vision fills with silver light. No, Selene gasps, crawling toward her. No, you stupid girl, what have you done? Without the bond to anchor you, without. But her words fade beneath the roaring in Alara's ears. She's dying. She can feel it. Her power is too much for her body to contain, her wolf too strong for her human mind to control. The price of being moonborn, she realizes dimly. The price no one warned her about. You burn bright and brief, like a star falling from the sky. Selene reaches her, grabs her shoulders. The ritual. We can still, if I complete it now, I can save. Get away from her. Driven's voice, raw and broken. He's on his feet somehow, moving like every step costs him, but moving. Selene snarls and throws more magic at him, but it's weak now, unsteady. She's dying anyway. Let me at least use her power for something. I said get away. Driven's roar carries alpha command amplified by 20 years of ruling, and even Selene's magic can't quite resist it. She stumbles back a step. Long enough for Driven to reach Alara and pull her into his arms. Stay with me, he pleads, and she can see tears on his face. Please. Alara, please. Can't. The word comes out garbled. Her body is changing, shifting between forms, neither wolf nor human. Too much. Power. Can't. Then give it to me. His hands frame her face, forcing her to meet his eyes. The bond. Whatever you broke between me and her, make a new one. With me. Let me help you carry this. We'll kill you. She can barely speak now. Moonborn. Can't love. Alpha. Without. I don't care. Fierce. Absolute. I love you. Not because you're her sister, not because of guilt or bonds or fate. You. The stubborn, brave, impossible woman who turned my world upside down. His forehead touches hers. I choose you. Bond or no bond. Life or death. I choose you. The words hit her like a physical force. And deep inside, where her fractured wolf howls in agony, something responds. Not the mate bond. Something else. Something new. The oracle's voice cuts through the chaos, high and wild, impossible. The prophecy, the moonborn cannot love an alpha without destroying them both, unless. Unless what? Marcus demands, suddenly at Driven's side. Unless he gives up his crown. The oracle's eyes are wide with awe and terror. Unless the alpha becomes something else. Sacrifices his power, his dominion, his throne. Done. Driven doesn't hesitate. I abdicate. Right here, right now. Marcus, you witness. Driven, no, Marcus starts. I, Driven Nightfang, King of the 5 Kingdoms, hereby renounce my crown and title. I release all bonds of kingship, all claims of dominion, all. You fool. Selene shrieks. You'll be nothing. Powerless. I'll be hers. Dreven's hands tighten on Alara. And that's enough. The words carry weight, power, ancient magic responding to a sacrifice freely given. Alara feels it happen, Dreven's alpha dominance bleeding away, his connection to the pack bonds severing, his crown becoming just metal and stone. He's mortal now. Just a man. And the moment his power fades, hers stabilizes. The fractured pieces of her wolf stop tearing themselves apart and start reforming. Not the same as before, something new, something changed by breaking the impossible bond and being offered love without conditions. The markings on her skin shift, moving into new patterns. When she can finally breathe again, finally think, she looks down and sees them, no longer just Corvinus symbols, but something else woven through them. A crown of stars. A wolf's heart. And threaded between them, barely visible, a bond forming. Not like the one she broke. Not gold and binding and faded. Silver. Chosen. Free. Alara looks up at Dreven and sees the same pattern reflecting in his eyes. He feels it too, this new connection, fragile and precious. You gave up everything, she whispers. I gained you. He smiles, exhausted and relieved. Fair trade. No. Celine's scream is inhuman. You ruined it. You. She lunges, dark magic coalescing around her hands, aiming for Alara's heart. But Alara is moonborn. And now she's stable, controlled, powerful in ways her sister never imagined. She raises one hand, and Celine freezes mid-strike. You're my sister, Alara says quietly. I should love you. Should want to save you. But? Celine's voice is strangled. But you killed innocence. Murdered the woman Dreven loved. Tried to steal my power. Alara's eyes harden. And worst of all, you used our family's sacrifice as an excuse for madness. I was trying to honor them. You dishonored everything they died protecting. Alara's power builds, silver light flooding the clearing. So I'm giving you a choice. Leave. Go far away and never return. Or what? You'll kill me? Your own sister? No. Alara's smile is sad. I'll do what should have been done 20 years ago. I'll take your power. Break your magic. Leave you human and helpless, forced to live with the consequences of what you've done. Terror floods Celine's expression. You can't, the ritual, you'd have to. I'm moonborn. Alara's hand glows brighter. I can do whatever I want with bonds and power. Including breaking yours permanently. She reaches out with her gift one more time, but now instead of severing a bond between others, she severs the connection between Celine and her magic. The wolf inside her sister, the dark rituals, the stolen power, all of it unravels beneath Alara's touch. Celine screams, the sound echoing off the ancient stones, as everything that made her dangerous burns away. When it's done, she collapses, just a woman now, middle-aged and scarred and powerless. Go, Alara says quietly. And if I ever see you again, I won't be so merciful. Guards move forward to drag Celine away. She's crying, pleading, but Alara doesn't listen. Can't afford to, or she might change her mind. The clearing is silent except for the sound of Celine's fading screams. Then someone starts clapping, slow, deliberate. Lord Varen steps forward from the crowd, his expression unreadable. Well. That was unexpected. Which part? Marcus growls, moving to stand between Varen and Alara. The sister returning from the dead, the blood magic, or the king abdicating? All of it. Varen's eyes fix on Alara. You're moonborn. The first in 3 generations. And you've just proven you can break any bond, take any power, command any wolf. He spreads his hands. What do you plan to do with that gift, child? It's a test. A challenge. Everyone is watching, waiting to see what she'll say. Alara looks at Dreven, who gives her the smallest nod. Your choice. Then she looks at the assembled wolves, hundreds of them, representing every pack and kingdom, all staring at her with fear and awe. I'm going to rest, she says finally. I'm going to heal. And then, she straightens, feeling the weight of her power settle across her shoulders like a mantle. Then I'm going to make sure what happened to my family never happens to anyone else. No more bloodlines hunted for being different. No more gifts treated as curses. Ambitious, Varen says dryly. And who will enforce these ideals? You? A girl who was a maid mere weeks ago. Yes. Simple. Absolute. Me. And anyone who stands with me. She looks around the clearing, meeting eyes, letting them see her resolve. I didn't ask for this power. Didn't want it. But I have it now, and I'm going to use it to build something better. Something where strength doesn't mean the right to oppress. Where bonds are chosen, not forced. Her voice rises. And if the High Council has a problem with that? The High Council, Varen interrupts smoothly, will need time to discuss this unprecedented situation. A moonborn who can command alphas. A king who abdicated for love. A blood duel that ended with revolution rather than resolution. He smiles, showing teeth. We live in interesting times. It's not approval. But it's not outright opposition either. Elara will take it. She turns to leave, and her knees buckle. Driven catches her before she falls, lifting her easily despite his own exhaustion. I've got you. Stupid, she mumbles against his chest. Gave up your throne. For me. Best decision I ever made. But the kingdom. We'll figure it out. Marcus will make a better king anyway. He carries her toward the palace, and she's too tired to argue. Rest now. We'll deal with the consequences tomorrow. Tomorrow. The word feels impossibly far away. Elara closes her eyes and lets the darkness take her. She wakes 3 days later in chambers she doesn't recognize, not Lyanna's room, not Driven's, but something new. Sunlight streams through windows, and someone has filled the space with fresh flowers. Driven sits in a chair beside the bed, his head tipped back, asleep. He looks younger like this, the lines of stress smoothed away, his hand resting near hers on the covers. Not touching. But close. Elara takes a moment to just look at him. This man who gave up everything. Who loved her sister but chose her. Who became mortal for a chance at something real. As if sensing her gaze, his eyes open. Hi, she whispers. Hi. His smile is soft, genuine. How do you feel? Like I broke the world and put it back together wrong. Sounds about right. He shifts forward, careful not to crowd her. The Oracle wants to see you. Says you're changing. Transforming into something unprecedented. Elara looks down at her hands and sees new markings forming, delicate as lace, strong as steel, patterns that shift when she moves. What am I becoming? I don't know. Driven's hand finally closes over hers. But whatever it is, you don't have to face it alone. The bond between them pulses, that new, silver thread they forged in defiance of prophecy and fate. Outside the window, wolves howl in greeting. A new day. A new beginning. And somewhere in the distance, the Oracle whispers to her apprentice, the Moonborn cannot love an alpha without destroying them both, unless he's willing to give up his crown. She pauses, ancient eyes knowing. She chose her power. He chose his heart. And from that choice, something new is born. What? The apprentice asks. What's being born? The future, the Oracle says simply. And it will either save us all or destroy everything we know. In her chamber, Elara feels the change accelerating, her wolf settling into something stable but utterly new, her power finding new channels, her very essence transforming. She has a choice to make. Hold on to her humanity and limit her power, or embrace what she's becoming and risk losing herself completely. The oracle's words echo in her mind. The Moonborn cannot love an alpha without destroying them both. But Driven isn't an alpha anymore. And Alara isn't just Moonborn. She's something else. Something the world has never seen. And whatever she chooses, power or humanity, throne or heart, will reshape the 5 kingdoms forever. The story is just beginning. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe, like and share this video to continue listening to this type of story daily and also, to appreciate this community too. I would like to hear your wonderful opinion about this story. Please comment below.